Hello, hello. Today we have a two-parter. We are going to do some self-massage and we're going to do a little exercise to wake up the muscles along the sides of your spine. So these deep postural muscles that you need to keep you upright that are along the spine right in between your shoulder blades. I mean, they go all the way up and down your spine, but we're going to focus on in between your shoulder blades because that's where we get really slouchy. So we're going to wake those up. So the first part, you're going to need some wall space and you're going to need some massage balls. So with the massage balls, I want to make sure that you get something that's not too hard. So don't use a golf ball or a lacrosse ball. They're too hard and your tissues do not like that. So you have many different options. I have this guy, which is a Franklin ball. They come in a set. You can order them on Amazon. I'll provide a link for you. This is just a nice squishy ball. I like this one. It's not too hard, so if your tissues tend to be a little more tender or sensitive, it will still give you the same results, but not as much pressure. It does have these little divots in them, so it creates a little bit of suction, which can be great, and it's sticky, but if you do it on bare skin, sometimes it can give you little cupping marks. You could also find something similar sometimes at toy stores or children's toy stores, or at pet stores. The other thing is a pinky ball, so you can order these as well online, or if you go to your studios, you can, usually Pilates studios have them. This one's worn down a little bit, it's kind of softer, it is slick a little bit, so again, it kind of looks like a handball or lacrosse ball, but it's a little softer. I am going to use this, that comes in a set of two from this company, Yoga Tune-Up. And Jill Miller is the woman who created that, and it's really wonderful, but we're just going to use them for some simple, we're going to use one of them for some self-massage. These guys are a little bit stickier and grip the skin, which is really nice for moving your tissues around. Alright, so we're going to get into our massage. You're going to take the ball and you're going to place it between your spine and your shoulder blade against the wall. So I'm going to put it right here, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to bend my knees pretty deeply so that I can roll up and down with the ball. I'm going to get it right in between my spine and my shoulder blade. And I'm just going to lean against there and roll up and down. So you can start with either side. What I'm doing is starting not on the spine. I prefer you stay not on the spine, but just to the side of the spine, and then work your way over to right next to the shoulder blade. And you'll feel it because like I get a little tenser as I get closer to my shoulder blade. And you can go up and down, and then you can go side to side. Use your feet a lot here, and breathe. So I'm going to find a little tender spot right there for me. I'm getting a little eek, and I can feel it all the way up into here. So I'm just going to lean there, I'm going to breathe. And that's all you really have to do there is just kind of play with that. It's really all about you getting this massage, getting some blood flow in there, and doing what's right for you. I'm going to hold here and I'm going to move my arm because I find that sort of helps me. Breathing with that as I circle my arm around. Slowly letting go. My upper back gets really tight, so this is really good for me. And then I'm just going to shake that out a little bit, nudge around in there. And then we're just going to repeat it on the other side. So again, between your spine here, and your shoulder blade. Bend the knees. If you have your legs straight, you have nowhere to go. Like you just can't roll quite as well. So start with your knees bent, and you're going to go down and up. So my knees are bending and straightening. Rolling both towards the spine side and the shoulder blade side, going up and down. And then rolling a little side to side in there. Ugh, there's some knots for me. And then you could also find those tender spots. Hold there. Use your feet to press against there and breathe. I'm going to do my arm circles there, but you can just breathe. You could do arm circles. Maybe you just do the arm up and down like this. The world is your oyster with these massage balls. It's amazing. One more. Breathing in. And then step back to the wall, take the ball away, shake out your shoulders, maybe even look side to side and see if that feels any different. And now we're ready for part two. All right, so now part 2. And part 2 is all about waking up the deep postural muscles, the deep spinal muscles along your spine in between your shoulder blades. So the hunchback muscles. So as you might get here more and more during your day as you're in front of the computer, we're going to wake up the muscles that keep you upright. So waking those guys up. So we're going to interlace our hands, and I like to have my thumbs free like this because I put my thumbs at the base of my skull. I'll turn around and show you kind of where I'm putting that. Right there. I'm going to take my hands and push them into my skull and push my skull back into my hands. So I've got this equal but opposite pressure, making sure that I'm not pushing my chin back or arching my neck up. It's really this skull up towards the ceiling and a little pressure. So that pressure is going to wake up those muscles, just that alone, but we're going to add a little movement to it. So I'm going to have you come sit at the very front of your chair. Now I've chosen to do this seated because I feel like you can do this at your desk anytime during the day. You could do it standing, that's great too. Either way is fine. You're going to sit on your sits bones at the front of your chair, feet planted, interlace the hands, they go to the back of your head. You're pressing your head into your hands. I'm also making sure that my elbow's not too wide or too far forward, right? I'm in a nice neutral angle with my shoulder blade right here on my ribs. So if I'm too far back, it pinches in. And so you want to find that balance of like a string pulling your elbow kind of forward and up. Keep both hands there. I'm just going to remove this hand so you can see what you're doing. So I'm going to press my head in my hands and kind of get that waking up. So I start to wake all this tissue up in here, these deep muscles. And then I'm going to slowly do a little bit of a lift of my breastbone up. So it's the tiniest little arch you could do. So I'm not letting my ribs shift forward or back. I'm not shifting my weight on my pelvis. I'm right on my sits bones, ribs are on top of my pelvis. I'm just lifting my breastbone and collarbones up. I'm breathing there, pressing my skull into my hand, and then coming back center. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. I'm going to take both hands up, pressing the skull into the hands, doing a little pressure of the skull into the hands, and then doing that little bit of way in the upper back, right in between your shoulder blades, a little lift there. And then releasing. 1 more, pressing the head into the hands, lifting the chest, taking the arms with me. My arms are kind of moving with me. I'm thinking about my elbows reaching forward and up a little bit. And release. And then shake out your shoulders. And that's all that exercise is. So between the massaging and waking up those deep spinal muscles, your upper back is reset. I love this exercise for combating computer posture, right? So we are all eventually going to have to go back to typing on our computers or looking down at our phones. And this exercise is one that is phenomenal for undoing that. Feel free to do it seated, standing, with the massage work, without the massage work, anytime that you need it. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you see someone else slouching that could use a little benefit from this exercise, please feel free to share it with them. Have a great day. And until next time, keep moving.